plot.
The plot thickens. Except it doesn't.
In my humble opinion, she's a dumbass.
Am I crazy?
I was crazy once.
Don't like that.
I am but a girl.
Eventful week.
Yeah.
Got ghosted by my therapist, got a new one. Didn't know that was a thing, but here we are.
It's crazy that you never figured out why he ghosted you.
Nope, not even a little. No response at all. Yeah, I'm hoping that he's fine and he was just going through a lot of shit and was not communicating with people.
Yeah.
Because like 2 weeks in a row, he was like, had just gone to the hospital before he met with me, kind of thing.
Ooh.
So, over weird shit too. Anyways, got a new one though, so solid nuggets.
There's no way you can casually ask that one what happened to him.
She's an independent contractor, so she's not connected to everyone like some of them.
Gotcha.
I'm so tired of being tired.
I bet.
Fucking sick of it. Yeah. Oh gosh, it's good. I was starving. I'm gonna regret this later though, because this has cheese and sour cream. And a good portion
You're
of
gonna
it.
fucking hate
I'm
everything.
gonna die. I'm gonna hate my whole life.
Oh God.
Well, here we are. You can only live once, right?
YOLO.
Ah.
Oh man.
Anywho's, how are you?
Okay. Tired. I have a headache.
Yep.
Mostly because I'm fucking starving and I'm gonna ingest this Big Mac like my life depends on it.
I know I was starting to have the sharp
Oh,
headache pains, and I'm like, what the fuck is my problem? But then my stomach started growling, and I'm like, oh, I haven't
God,
eaten
just
since like
kidding.
this morning.
Oh my God, same. Why are we this? Don't be like us.
Uh-uh.
Please eat.
Oh, I ate this way too fast, but I was so hungry.
I get it.
Anyways, hello, hi. We are still here, kinda barely. So, the book that we read this week's niche category was Mafia Cowboy Romance. And this is the category that our dear Angie had selected for me. So this is not a Crystal selected category, so she cannot say that I did a shit job at picking the book. And Angie's not here to say it.
So Ariel gets a free pass.
Exactly. That's how I feel about it.
Even though I guarantee you if that happens to me, Ariel's gonna be like, well, too
If
bad.
it's not my category, I can't say anything about it. I don't know what it was meant by, you know. I got Mafia Cowboy. This is a Mafia Cowboy. We read The Badge by Lena Hendrix. So there is a reader note at the beginning of the book that the book contains adult material, including references to substance abuse, child neglect, not on page, and elements of life on a ranch that includes natural death of an animal. But I would like to add violence, as well as kidnapping, attempted murder, and murder. Because, glad that you included like a mention of an animal that died on a ranch, but not actually like people dying.
You would think like mafia wise, that should be like
Included, absolutely. So,
included.
so they could have said,
I'm just
you
saying,
know,
right,
elements of mafia life.
right.
I
That
would
would
have,
have also
yeah,
been acceptable.
I would have liked that term. Did I expect shit? Yes, but you should too. But just in case people are dumb,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that. Anyways, our FMC is Val, and she is an officer at the Chicago Police Department. She has been partnered with Eric for the last 3 years. The book opens with her and Eric being called to a scene of a kidnapping and home invasion. They find a young woman dazed in the house left behind while Eric goes after the man that is running. Val tries to talk to the woman who ends up running herself and smashes into glass, and it's not good. But Val runs after her, and she ends up in an alley where she sees another man in a hoodie running as well. So she runs after that whole scenario. She shouldn't really go into the alley without backup, but she's in pursuit.
Couldn't be me.
No,
That's why I don't have that job.
I mean,
First of all,
I would probably die because I
there'd be
probably
no
would do it.
running involved.
Val finds the girl and sees the hoodie man fighting another man with a gun. And then Val sees a police officer lying dead on the ground. Val goes to the woman while the men fight, but then the guy with the gun sees Val go towards the woman and goes to shoot her. But the hoodie man jumps in front of it and lands on top of Val, which knocks them both out. 5 months later, it has been relayed to Val that both the officer down in the alley and the hoodie man have both died. They died on the scene. And nobody can corroborate the story of a girl. In fact, they assure Val that there was never a woman.
Gaslighting.
But for real. And she's been attending her weekly mandatory sessions with the staff therapist to make sure she's fine to return to work. And they're concerned that she won't let it go of the fact that there was a young woman in that
Bitch,
alley.
I wouldn't either.
Right?
Just, bro.
Yeah. I don't do well with gaslighting. I fucking saw it.
It was there.
Am I crazy?
I was crazy once. Sorry.
I have a student that has that shirt. It says the whole thing.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So Val is still on desk duty because of all this. Val gets a visit from a special agent named Walsh. Val had been in the running to switch to be an ATF officer, and Agent Walsh asks Val about her application and informs her that she passed all the exams and physicals and all of the stuff she needed. All she needs is a panel interview and have her psych report go through. So he would like to offer her a solution. 20 hours of a drive later, Val finds herself in Tip, Montana. She's trying to find the ranch she was sent to and is not welcomed in town.
I would have
Yeah.
turned the fucker right around
That-
because, like, those interactions, I was like, oh,
Right? Like she gets pulled over
Nope.
by a cop who's basically like, get the fuck out of our town.
right? Like,
And she tries to
couldn't
stop
be
for
me.
coffee. No one would serve her.
Right?
She goes to the bar to get something to eat. No one will serve her. It's,
Don't stay where you're not wanted, so clearly leave.
yeah, she's basically shunned because they don't do outsiders. So she ends up just leaving without getting anything. And a man follows her
towns
out to the
exist.
parking lot. Yeah, which, creepy, but he was in the bar and he saw her trying to order, and he gives her his food that he had ordered that's in a container.
Okay, but I personally would not accept it.
Absolutely not. This man follows you to the parking lot and gives you food that you don't even know. Yeah, absolutely not.
After everyone just shunned you saying you don't belong here,
Yeah.
that food's
This was the
poison.
first, yeah, this was the first,
Red flag.
yeah. Listen, I know that you nor I would do this, but there are people that would. This is realistic in a way. I think it's dumb, but I think it's realistic
But
in a way
she's
because people are
also,
this dumb.
the thing is she's a cop and wanting to be ATF. Like,
Mhm. She should.
wouldn't you think to be
I know
more
she was just
suspicious?
driving for 20 hours straight, but you would think she would have her instincts,
You think so?
in my humble opinion.
In my humble opinion, she's a dumbass.
That. Well, she does take it though, because he tells her that the town is weird about strangers, but they should be polite, and she thanks him profusely and then heads to her destination.
I would head the fuck out. My destination would be back in the other direction.
Yeah. Evan is the man who gave her the food, and Evan has a sister named Gemma, who is 19, and they're both staying at Redemption Ranch. Redemption Ranch
What a
typically
name.
has two types of people: witness protection people who are waiting to testify, and agents who guard the ranch for them. Only select people are sent to Redemption Ranch to hide in plain sight in a very small Montana town, and they have very specific rules: new identities, no connections to former life, ever, and that they work on the ranch. And all of this is in exchange for testimony in federal court. Evan, to save his sister, put them into the witness protection program so that they could testify against his brother Parker. Val makes her way to the ranch and meets the agents who own and run the ranch: Agents Brown and Brown, because they're married. Ma is what Mrs. Brown likes to be called, and she basically runs things. I don't think we ever met Mr. Brown once.
Nope.
If we did, it was like in passing or at dinner or
Yeah.
something. Like
He he was
didn't
like an
seem to have,
afterthought.
yeah, a full role.
No.
At least he didn't stick out enough for me to remember him. So here we
Honestly,
are.
no.
Once in Ma Brown's office, Val sees the man who she met in the parking lot. She's confused, but the man just leaves. And Ma explains what the ranch is all about and that Agent Walsh sent her there so that she can get situated with the ATF stuff. And he called the favor in to have her stash there. So Agent Brown will be assessing to see if she's fit for duty while she's there. She'll get a list of chores, her own room, and all that jazz. So the next day, Val gets up and starts right on her chores. She gets an actual introduction to Evan, who's doing chores as well, basically alongside her, and he realizes who she is, so he charges right into Ma's office, asking why Val is there. It's not funny, it's dangerous. Val is confused by the entire exchange, so he follows him to the office and demands answers herself. Ma explains that Evan is the man who stepped in front of a bullet for Val. Val's confused. She was told that that man had died. But then she turns to Evan and says to please tell her that the girl was real. Evan confirms that the girl is Gemma, his sister. Evan feels like her
I'd be
being
like,
there
see,
puts them
bitch, I'm
all in
not
danger.
crazy.
Yeah, right? She kind of was. And it was like validating, but he is freaking out because they can't all just be sitting in the same place.
Yeah.
Val's confused by all of this, but she pieces together that Evan is a former criminal hiding there to testify against his previous organization. She sets out to have a conversation with him to get more information, and she finds him chopping wood. And it really doesn't help things that Evan is massive and very easy on the eyes. She tries to ask him what's going on, how is he there, why is he there? He doesn't really know much, but she ends up just asking why he stepped in front of the bullet for her. He says she saved his sister's life when he couldn't. And then he goes back to chopping wood, ignoring her. Which, listen, I get that she happened to be the officer on scene,
Yeah.
but how did she save her life? Like, I get that the situation created this, absolutely. But how did she as an individual or anything really?
Yeah.
Because especially when we hear the full story about like how he basically went in and like bam bam bammed all the people in there and like I just
Plot.
the plot thickens. Except it doesn't. Well, you know, win some, you lose some.
We've been losing a lot.
I know. Making me really sad. 7 days later, and Evan has been almost obsessively trying to catch glimpses of Val around the ranch. They haven't had much interaction in the past week, but they both happen to be in town on the same day, and he sees her head into the town gym. He also finds her super attractive. Yeah. He grabs his gym bag that he stashes in his vehicle and follows right in, realizing he's about to join yoga class. Val's confused again, which I feel like is a recurring theme for her. Like, I don't mean to say that that's her only emotion.
That's a little
but
concerning.
I mean,
is
she's
confused a
also
lot.
intrigued and amused by him being there, but she's
But she's
confused a lot for a cop.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion, it's not a humble opinion, in my shitty opinion, they end the yoga session needing to pair up, and some guy in front of Val tries to pair up with her, but Evan basically growls at him, and he's like, oh, guess it's just the two of them for a pair. And they have to do this partner stretch, and it ends up getting very heated, and Evan's wondering if Val can also feel this weird connection between them. So the next day he knocks on her door and tells her that they have family dinner on Sundays and that she should be there. People in the town have not been the best experience for Val with, being friendly or anything. And she's really just not up to just having a whole dinner with these
I wouldn't be.
stranger people.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't want to have a dinner with people I know. Okay?
Absolutely.
I would rather be alone in my own house not surrounded by anybody. So you're gonna tell me
No
that
way.
I am gonna have dinner with people who fucking hate me the second I stepped into this goddamn town? No.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
Totally understood her
Absolutely
side.
not.
She was like, no. But
Yeah.
he insists.
And then I would insist that he gets the fuck out.
Yeah, I would insist that he get fucked. Yeah.
I'm like, sorry,
Nice
no.
knowing you. Bye.
Bye.
Sorry we did yoga together. You can go fuck yourself.
Okay. Well, he could now that he's did all that yoga. Sorry.
I don't think it quite works like that, but
Well, who knows?
dinner is not great, but it's not as bad as Val thought it would be. But it's definitely a struggle bus.
Mm-hmm.
And Val does see Gemma there, obviously for the first time, and can't help but stare at her because it's like looking at a ghost. She was told this whole time that she basically made this girl up, and now she's there in front of her. Gemma wants to know why this lady's staring at her.
Honestly, fair, Gemma,
Yeah.
fair. I got you.
Evan has to tell Gemma who Val is, and Gemma wants to meet her, thank her. But Evan just tells her, go slow for now. But Gemma does not last long, and it's only the next day when she purposely finds Val and introduces herself and asks Val if she would accompany her into town. Riding on a pony. Not really, they're going to drive. And Evan apparently tells Gemma that she cannot go into town alone. And even though Gemma thinks that's stupid because she's not a child, it would give her the opportunity to go with Val. Turns out, Gemma, bad driver. Very bad driver. Like, Val has to hold on to the oh shit handle in fear the entire
Like maybe
drive
this
into
girl
town.
shouldn't have a license.
Yeah. Yeah. Not even self-aware about it, though.
Yeah.
They end up in a shop in town that has all kinds of beauty supplies and all kinds of things like lotions, creams, washes, even lingerie, all kinds of stuff. The shop's run by a guy named Johnny, and he loves Gemma. And since Val's with Gemma, she's basically now in the club and gets a warm welcome, which is nice for Val because, you know, her treatment in town. The days on the ranch pass pretty quickly, and the days are filled with chores, and it's nice to have her muscles worked in a way that hasn't for a while. She does enjoy the glimpses that she gets of Evan because she's attracted to him, and she hasn't gotten laid in quite a long time, and
And she has eyes.
it doesn't hurt that they seem to have this magnetic chemistry, and yes, eyes. Eyes help with that.
I am but a girl.
And honestly, that's how she puts it. Like, what am I to do?
I unfortunately am attracted to men.
It is an unfortunate situation. It
Yeah.
really is.
Mm-hmm.
By the next Friday, Val is going a little stir crazy and tries to snoop in the kitchen to see if she can find any booze that might be hiding because it doesn't seem like the ranch really has that around. But Evan startles her, telling her she's not going to find any alcohol in those cabinets. But he is heading into town to get something to eat and a beer at the bar, and she's welcome to come with him. She's hesitant because the bartender did not seem to appreciate her presence the last time she was there. But Evan assures her that if she's with him, it's fine. It'll be fine. And they head to the bar, and sure enough, the bartender, Al, is welcoming to her. And she's starting to wonder what kind of effect Evan has on the town because everywhere he goes, people are like happy to see him and greeting him. And he seems to know everybody. It's just now, suddenly, when she goes with him or Gemma, she's in the club. In the club, we all fam.
No. Get out.
But
Get
that's how
out.
leave, get out right now.
None of this.
The end of you and me. Hmm. Um, so Val and Evan end up playing pool together, and he's really good at it. And Val gets a little frustrated, and he gets flirty and comes up behind her, basically on top of her, helping to line it up for her. It's pretty flirty and heated until another man at the bar says something along the lines of, "Well, will Val let him help line up the next shot?" Which, why? It's just you see a man with a woman,
Mhm.
and then you're like, Oh, can I get with that girl too? Like what?
Because
The
some men
audacity of men.
don't have boundaries.
Yes.
And honestly, some men think, oh, that woman is with that man. She's probably still single. Still go for it.
The caucasity.
Yeah,
Anyways, so Evan don't like that. No, he doesn't.
I
And
don't
he's
blame him.
instantly in the man's face, threatening him. And so Val's basically like, okay, time to go. Apparently, it was somebody who was not a regular, and that's kind of how Evan tries to cover it up. But in his head, he's wondering why he's so territorial about Val. She's just a cop, someone on the ranch. He may be attracted to her, but he can't afford to have things complicated for him.
Sure.
One of the agents assigned to
Okay.
the yeah, one of the agents assigned to the ranch is Scott, and he got there about the same time Gemma and Evan did. And Scott has been looking out for Evan and on his case and on the brother Parker situation. He lets Evan know that the word is that Parker knows that Gemma is alive.
Not good.
No. According to Evan, Parker had his own sister kidnapped, and it took Evan 6 days to find out where Parker's men had taken Gemma. Evan just busted in there like the Kool-Aid man, dragging Gemma from the
Oh,
basement, killing 4 men in the process. But a fifth got Evan with a baseball bat, and it wasn't until the cops showed up that Emma ended up being safe. But okay, this is what I was talking about. So Evan busted in there,
hmm.
choo 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 choo, took all the men out, got Gemma out of her confines, and she's just sitting there like comatose when the cops find her, and so saved her life.
But also remember, there wasn't a woman.
No, no woman. No. Yeah. I don't know how you're gonna spin that one, but
Well,
the call was even for a kidnapping. And who called them? Who
that's a really good question,
who
actually.
called it in for kidnapping and a burglary in process? Who called that call in? I have
A
so many questions.
ghost.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So many questions.
I don't. I don't know. Um, I'm assuming the denying that it's a woman thing is because of the protection, which
Yes, it
whatever.
is.
But to make this woman out to be like crazy is still
Mm-hmm.
wild to
You
me.
could say she died at the scene too.
Exactly. So you're not thinking that the girl is like invisible. Like, I'm not a cop, obviously, but I feel like
We
the
could have
route to
handled this situation a little better.
yes, exactly.
Hindsight is 2020 though. Gemma and Val form a pretty good relationship while on the ranch, and they go hiking, they hang out, go on store trips. And Gemma shares with Val that Evan is her half brother and that she had been with her mother after Evan and Parker ended up being taken from the mother due to child neglect. Obviously, Gemma wasn't born quite yet because she's so much younger. And that when Gemma was 15, she's still with her mother. Her mother died of an overdose. But then Evan found out about her, helped her, gave her a place to live, a job, always looked out for her. Parker didn't really want anything to do with her because she looks like her mother and she was raised by the mother, and it was contemptuous at best.
And we all know that men have their little man feelings hurt, so they like to use that
Yes.
as an excuse to be shitty to women.
Yes. But she was around Parker because Evan and Parker worked
Right.
together.
Right.
And
The women looking like the mother is also what serial killers do a lot. They tend to, like, when they have, like, okay, so, I know
I was just trying to figure out where you're going with this.
I don't know. It was a thought in my head. This is a real mess. No, so a lot of times serial killers, when they're like not hunting victims, but when they're
Oh, they'll try to find ones that look
they'll
like
find
their
ones
mother.
that right. So like it's not out of the realm that like Parker was shitty to her because she
Her
reminded him of
mother.
his
Yes,
mother,
yes.
but like
No, I get it.
I know
But they say women are the emotional ones.
we're the problem.
Yes. We couldn't run anything. We have just too many emotions.
We even though we're not out here killing men that remind of us our dads, we're just
We probably
in
should.
therapy.
That would be like,
She says we should kill them. I say we should have therapy. You know,
no, but I mean, like, what are, what are they
there's
gonna
more
do?
male serial
What if
killers
we
than
start?
female.
Oh, absolutely. Like statistically,
Again,
like, but
because
but that's what I'm saying.
men,
What if we just started acting like them? Then what would they do? They probably put us all in homes.
well, they're already trying to make us
Go to
be stuck
camps.
in,
Yeah.
yeah, that, be stuck in kitchens,
Yeah.
have no rights, da 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 da. So if we just start, though, if we start killing the men, then that could go away because then the women would take over. So I don't know. Be thinning the herd.
Yeah.
Start from the top. Don't do that. We do not condone murder on this podcast, but
We hypothetically could reason with it,
just
and
make sure you have bail money.
yes, which I do not. So, Gemma had accidentally walked in on one of Parker's meetings one day and heard things she shouldn't. And the next thing she knew, she was being taken. But she appreciates Val's role in everything in all this, and this really winds Val up. Like, she has so many feelings over this whole situation. And she ends up that evening going by herself out to the cow pasture just to clear her head. It's really frustrating when so many adults fail children. And I mean, I get that, obviously, but she just needs to de stress. But Evan finds her because he saw her pass his cabin on her way, and he asks Val if he can join her. Val pulls
No,
out
sorry.
a bottle of bourbon that she had gotten in town on one of their trips, saying it's her secret stash.
It's a valid reaction.
I mean, so is yours. And they share it and trade stories of scars. Evan tells her a little bit about his past and how he and his brother were always so close, especially after they were taken when he was 8 from his mom. And they bounced from place to place. And then when Parker was 16, Evan was 13, Parker met a man named Michael who ran numbers for the mob. And through that connection, Parker got a job, and that helped them survive. Parker and Michael found themselves getting deeper and deeper in the organization, and eventually Evan was brought in on smaller things. And then he ended up being an enforcer. He says, don't let it fool her. He's got darkness in him. And she says, maybe, but she can also see the light too. And they end up kissing until things start to get more heated, and Evan tells her that they can't. That they're technically connected with their past. And it's a very hard rule on the ranch, which Val finds funny that Evan is a criminal who doesn't want to break the rules. But, days later, Evan still can't help himself. He's his own worst enemy, and he ends up trading chores with a couple of other people so that he can be near Val to do chores with her. They end up inseminating cows together.
That
So
okay.
cute.
I just
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They decide that even though it's painfully obvious to both of them that there's a strong attraction between the two of them, they need to follow the rules. And they agree to be friends. Only friends. Good friends. Yeah. During one Sunday dinner, Ma tells them that the farmer's market is coming up and she's hoping to have volunteers, but she'll assign if she needs to. And Val, over the weeks, has settled into family dinner, and now she's, welcome at the table and is getting along with everyone. Scotty pulls Evan aside towards the end of dinner to let him know that the organization has been starting to pass around photos of Evan and Gemma and Val. Apparently, Val staying at the police station wasn't an issue, but once she disappeared, now they're nervous. But not to worry, there's federal agents crawling the entire ranch. Everyone's safe there.
sure.
A few days later, Evan walks into the gym and sees Val sparring with Scotty and realizes how good she is. It's one thing to know what she does for a living, but he's never seen her in action at the ranch, and it's definitely nice for him to see the way her body moves, and he realizes he's doing something stupid when he agrees to spar with her next. It gets a little heated, and Evan is so close to kissing her, even though they're in the middle of the gym, until Val pulls away and starts laughing, thanking him for the warm up. and he realizes that being friends sucks.
Yeah. Well, suck it up, bitch.
Val also makes sure to bring Gemma with her when she goes to the gym as well and starts to teach Gemma self-defense moves so that Gemma can feel better and not so scared because she was able to be taken the first time. And Val teaches her how to get out of holds and fight back. Not that that's a surefire thing, but it just makes her feel better.
It is nice to have that
Yes.
as a skill, though,
Hmm.
considering the situation they're in.
Absolutely. She just wants Gemma to feel as protected as she
And in
can
all
and give
reality, I
that
think
to
that
her.
everyone should know that anyways, even if you aren't in this
Absolutely.
situation. Like, you should still know them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Val's also getting sick of being Evan's friend. And as the days go on, she just has all this pent up sexual energy and it's really riding her.
Listen, you guys can be friends and fuck at the same time. That's okay. Just saying. It's an option.
Yeah. When she finds herself alone with Evan in a barn, she starts to question whether it would be okay if nobody knew what they were doing. I mean, it's not like they would do it publicly. She catches his eye and she takes her shirt off. I mean, that's one way to
It's one way to
approach
do
the.
it.
Yeah. He's on her instantly and he
Well,
tells her
he is but
that,
a man, and she
right?
has boobies.
That if they're going to do this, they need to be smart about it.
Wear
Business
a
during the
condom.
day.
Sorry. Sorry.
During the day, business as usual, chores, supper, just friends. But at night, all bets are off. And they plan to make an
Still
official
friends, but
wedding.
I'm gonna put my dick in you.
While everyone's outside enjoying the evening with drinks and a fire, they use the laundry room to finally fuck. And yes, they do a condom this time. Not every time,
I'm just saying,
this
be
time.
safe, guys. Wrap it before you tap it,
That one.
so you don't end up with crotch goblins.
Or crotch,
Other things.
other things.
Yeah, that
Yeah, I
too.
was gonna say smaller goblins, but like or crotch itchies. I don't know. Ugh. The farmer's market mentioned earlier finally comes around, and Val and Evan made sure to volunteer for it. And they enjoy their day out. Scotty is overseeing them because they always have to have an agent present. And he covers the booth for a hot minute while they go get something to eat. They check out all the booths on their way, and Val goes gaga over these necklaces made from geodes and how they're such a cool thing and how this market is so cool and all this stuff. And just seeing Val so happy has Evan feeling kind of bad because she doesn't truly know him and all the stuff he's done. And she thinks he's good, and he does not feel that way. So he tells her that he promised to always be honest with her. She deserves to know that he did a lot of very bad things for a very long time.
He was a
Joining,
very bad boy. I'm sorry.
he's a bad man.
You were a
Joining witness
bad
protection
boy.
did not erase his past. He was connected to the mafia. Dude,
That would turn me on a little bit more, though.
yeah. His brother in deep with the mafia, but he was just hired muscle. And she, like Crystal, is not fazed by this and is basically like, so he's a mafia cowboy? There
Let
you go,
me
Angie. There's your
you
mafia
save a
cowboy.
horse, ride a cowboy.
Save a girl, ride a cowboy. Yeah, an invisible girl. She assures him that he deserves happiness and a fresh start. And they're enjoying themselves until he swears he sees a glimpse of his brother Parker and it freaks him out and they head back to the booth. They continue their friends during the day, hookups by evening lifestyle, and Evan slips a note into her pocket during the day and invites Val on a sort of date. He sets up the tack room with lights and wine and all kinds of stuff, and they play cards and end up playing Truth or Dare Blackjack, learning things about each other like favorite colors, childhood pets, all kinds of stuff from their past.
The boring things.
Yeah, but they get to know you stuff.
Yeah. I know.
Until Evan dares Val not to move, in which he basically like rakes his teeth all along her and trying to torture her, and she moves, so she loses. And her punishment for moving is he ties her hands up and tastes her and then fucks her.
Oh no.
Right?
Such a
But
bad punishment. Don't do that.
let me move again. But they both just feel such a strong connection. And Val wonders if it's supposed to feel like this because it never has for her before. And he says it feels destined.
Or she's just had bad sex.
Also that. So apparently they had been working on building more cabins for the ranch. So as soon as they're done, Gemma is overjoyed at being able to move into her own cabin and not share with Evan. Evan's not exactly ready to let her out of his sight because he wants to protect her, but Ma assures him that it's fine and not really up to him. Though this does mean that he's able to move their secret hookups to a little bit easier access of a space. So that's good for him. Because Val is just using a room inside the main house and there's lots of traffic with that, so not great. And because they have this new space, it's a little easier for them not to be so quick to returning back to normal. And Evan ends up convincing Val to lay in bed with him afterwards and to even sleep over. So the slope is sliding. It's getting a little slippery.
Oh.
Yes. Ma finds Val one day to let her know that Agent Walsh is looking for Val and wants her to call him. Val's cell phone doesn't really work, basically, in most of the whole town. So Val calls him back using the main house phone, and the agent says that she has passed her psych, so she's good to go. There's a debriefing process that will take a bit of time, but they can get the ball rolling to get her up and running. Val feels like crying. This is all she ever wanted, but why does she feel so heartbroken to leave? She ends up calling her chief to let him know about the change, but instead of her chief, her partner Eric answers because the chief is out, and they talk a bit, catching up. On one of Gemma and Val's trips into town, they always go to that boutique store run by Johnny. He special ordered some things for them, so they try all kinds of stuff, and while in the store, he tells Gemma that some random guy was asking about her around town. It was weird, which makes both Gemma and Val a little on edge. But they end up seeing a sign on a bulletin board for some kind of barn party, and the whole town is excited about it. So they bring it up at the ranch and convince people to go. Val even ends up dancing with Evan during the party, and he tells her that he cannot pretend anymore. He can't pretend that seeing her lights up every room. So she's one of those. Ugh. And he can't
I don't. Mind you, do not. If I die, do not tell people that I lit up a room. I lit the room on fire. That's the only way that I would light up a room, is I lit it on fire because I forgot to blow out the candle.
It's a positive thing because, in a way, if serial killers and stuff only go after people who light up rooms, we're safe.
Okay, fair.
We don't have that positive
Also, we're
vibe.
kind of I don't think that we are the demographic.
No.
I'm now too old, I think, to kidnap.
I also am.
But also, I think we've read enough dark romance that at this point, if someone said, I'm going to kidnap you, be like, okay,
thank you for the vacation.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, for real. And I think they would return me because...
Are you kidding me? I had someone who was like, this only really applies to me. This doesn't apply to everybody. But like, so someone had said something about like stealing identity. And they're like, but what if someone stole your identity? I'm like, I have a lot of debt. They can literally have my identity. I don't have money because like, and like my information or like my bank card, I was like, baby, I'm poor. I don't have money. I have a lot of debt. My credit score sucks. Like, enjoy my identity. Have fun. I don't want it.
Right?
Yeah,
I like what? I'm boring.
Yeah, well, okay. Do you want to know how boring Ariel is? An actual bounty hunter told her she was boring. And that's why she was so easy to find, because she's boring.
I don't feel like you're a criminal because you could see that every time
do anything.
You don't go anywhere, you don't do anything, and every time you moved to a new location, you immediately filed and said where you were.
Yeah.
I wasn't hiding.
Right? So, just so you know, you can have it.
Get arrested. Have that.
And if you're gonna pay off my debt, absolutely. Thank you. Please take it.
Give me a sugar daddy.
Without the sugar. I just don't want to do the gross things. I don't know though. If he's really hot, I might do the gross things.
Depends on the money, I think, for me.
Okay.
I think there's not
A
a
million
lot I
dollars,
wouldn't.
I would be like, okay.
There's not a lot I wouldn't do for money. Like, let's be real.
Yeah,
Like enough money, there's not a lot I wouldn't do.
that's true.
I'm trying to think of the things that I wouldn't do, and it's very hard to think of.
It's really hard, especially when every day I get closer and closer to contemplating having an OnlyFans.
You should, just for the plot at this point.
Honestly, I could just pay for so many things. I could to pay for a new car. I just want a new car.
Yeah. Yeah. You could buy us that farm.
Mm. I could pay off all our debt.
Yeah. We can move to a different country with our kids and have a farm.
Love that.
That's that's the goal.
Every day at work, I contemplate stealing a goat. Every day.
I think that would be the opposite of helping us achieve this
No,
goal.
no, no, no.
I
Because
know.
if I get a goat, then I can add it to our farm. You hear me?
I see that, but we have to have the farm first.
But what if I just start collecting animals ahead of time? And
I
then they'll
mean,
be
you're
like,
just
you
trying
need
to
in
be
order
ahead
to
of
have
the
this farm,
process.
you need to have the animals. Well, guess what, bitch? I
Got
already
it.
have the animals.
Got it. We went very off topic. But
Yeah.
Evan thinks Val is his light, so that's how this started. And he can't pretend that her leaving isn't going to destroy him. But they're interrupted by Gemma telling them to come outside because they're doing a lumberjack competition, which you didn't spend enough time on this for me
Yeah, no.
because
I need that.
who Gemma convinces Evan to compete for her and he wins. The prize apparently is goat yoga. So tying back
I want to
in
do that.
all the way back
See,
in.
okay, so on our farm, we'll
can
do
have
goat
goat
yoga.
yoga.
See, because we're going to live off grid, and that's one
Yep.
way we could earn money
Yes.
is goat yoga.
There we go. Fabulous.
Fuck yeah.
Start collecting now.
Okay.
It had been a week since Val had talked to Agent Walsh, and she hadn't heard anything more, but she's just feeling really overwhelmed by the situation, and she calls him back saying she has a proposition for him. A bunch of time goes by, and it's really weird and ambiguous. Time in this book is not great. I'm not a
Listen,
fan of it.
okay, time doesn't really exist.
Yeah, the way that they explain when time passes or how much time passes that's their thought process, I think, in this book. Not a fan, not a fan. But apparently now it has been officially 4 months since Val has been there, and Val and Evan are completely out now. Gemma knows about them. The whole ranch knows about them. They're basically living together at Evan's cabin. And now that Val feels like she made an arrangement with Agent Walsh, that's allowed everything to settle down. They drag out in this book what the whole arrangement is, but basically it just was her making a deal with him that she's staying to keep Evan and Gemma safe as like a protecting agent there until things are situated because of all the weird sightings and rumors around town and stuff. And Val just felt like there was a danger coming.
So we're not dragging it out for you.
No, because it was stupid.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like some big, like, duh. Yeah.
Tell us how you really feel, Ariel.
Val and Gemma are out to breakfast when Gemma suddenly goes ghost white and seems to be having an internal panic attack. Val doesn't understand what's going on. Gemma's frozen in place, and Val looks around trying to see what could have freaked Gemma out, but all she sees is the wait staff, some children at a booth, and a man paying at the counter, making small talk with the cashier. Nothing weird. She quickly gets Gemma situated into a vehicle and brings her back to the ranch. And once they're there, Gemma tells her that she heard that Parker was the one at the counter paying. Gemma quickly gets Evan, and once he's there, Gemma tells Evan that Parker found them, that he's there. Evan's distraught. He promised to keep her safe. The other agents try to stop Evan from storming out because they know what he's thinking, and Val says that they're going to investigate, follow protocol. It's all good. He's confused by the use of we when she's like, we, we're going to investigate. And she says to him that she's helping, that they'll figure it out, that Ma will take care of Gemma. She's going to bring Evan back to his cabin so he can clear his head. But once at the cabin, Evan pulls a handgun from a secret hiding spot and like, where the fuck did he get that? Just want to know.
Well, from the cabinet.
No, but like,
No,
how
I
did they
know.
get there? Yeah. She's like, what the fuck? Because, duh. And he says that Parker found them. He needs to go remind Parker who he is. And Val realizes that he means the criminal that he is. And this is her first glimpse at seeing him hardened and the look on his face. And Evan is so confused and freaking out. He doesn't understand how Parker found them. Someone must have leaked it. This place is basically remote. And then he looks at Val saying, her. She must have talked to someone in Chicago. Val assures him that the only one she's talked to in Chicago is her old partner, Eric. And all he knows is that she's holed up somewhere in Montana. No details. Evan's pissed, saying that Val gave them up. Of course, Eric would betray her because all
Of course,
cops
let's
are
blame
dirty.
the woman.
And to say all cops are dirty to the cop, I mean, not that you necessarily, but
No, I know
Um,
what you mean.
Val's pissed, saying she's done nothing but try to stay there and help him. And he realizes that she's been working there. And for some reason, that really bothers him. And she tells him she passed her evaluation weeks ago. She worked it out with the agent so she could stay at the ranch and keep them safe. But he says she's been lying to him.
Okay.
She says no. Like, what the heck? And he's just so worked up with everything that he tells her he's leaving. She can either arrest him or get out of his way.
What if I shoot you? Just kidding.
She's really concerned because he so easily slipped
Yeah.
into an entirely different persona, and she didn't even recognize him. She goes to the other agents and explains that Evan's about to do something reckless. Evan heads to town on a pump, no, asking about Parker and showing pictures. And it isn't until Al, the bartender, says, yeah, he recognizes his brother, but that's not the guy who's been asking questions around town. It's that other guy, and points to another guy in the photo, which is Michael. Evan kind of hits a dead end on finding anything else, so he heads back to the ranch. Val heads out to find Evan. Quickly after he left, Gemma deciding she's going with Val. Val tries to fight it at first, but then she's like, okay, it's just scoping around the town for her brother. No big deal. They walk into the bar, and Al says they just missed Evan. He reiterates what he told Evan about seeing the brother and the other guy, and he describes the other guy, and Gemma recognizes who it is. And Al says that, yeah, that Michael guy, definitely up to no good. And Val says that there's not really that many places to hide around the area, that people wouldn't notice outsiders, so the two of them kind of go nosing around for a bit to old farmhouses, abandoned buildings, blah, blah, blah. And they end up down this old country road where this abandoned church is.
Take me
And
home. Sorry.
and they find tire tracks. And so Val's like, okay, maybe this is something, but they should turn back and go get help because she's got Gemma with her and all that. So she goes a little bit further down the road to be able to turn her car around in the clearing. And from there, they can see the church. And they see a newer car at the church with Illinois plates. Val tries to take her phone out to see if she has even a smidgen of service. The one bar flickers. Not doing so great. But she
God, I
texts
fucking hate
out,
when that shit happens.
yeah, what they found and that they're heading back and where they are. But as they're turning the car around, movement catches her eye, and she realizes that if she spooks him, he's going to go. And Val is so torn because she needs to get Gemma out of there. But Gemma says, what if he leaves? What if they have Evan there? And so Val is resigned, as she says to Gemma, to stay in the car, lock the door, and to keep trying to call someone because she doesn't know if her text went through. She's assuming it didn't. Val reaches into her glove box and pulls out her service weapon that was returned to her when she was reinstated and goes to look around. She's checking the vehicle out as someone grabs her from behind and the gun goes flying. She says to stop, police, that they're under
Because
arrest.
that's gonna stop somebody.
Well, someone's behind you choking and you're like, stop, police, you're under arrest.
Right? Like, I
What?
don't think you're in the position for this. I will say also, like, another gripe I have is, like, I understand that, like, Evan's gone into, like, criminal mode, but, like, wasn't her whole thing that she was staying there to help protect them? And I don't know, she's also
Well, no, she
a
was
cop.
specifically on the ranch that she fell into neither category originally because she wasn't there as a like a
No, no,
agent,
no, no, I
an
know, but
employee.
didn't she
But
say she was staying there anyways to protect them? Is that what you said
now,
too?
yes, now,
Right, that's what I'm saying.
yeah, sorry,
It's like, hello,
yeah.
and then all this stuff
But
happened.
he
So
couldn't
like,
get over his man feelings, and he was just
which
so
is just
angry.
it's just insane. And also, she's a cop. You're a criminal. She's
Smooth
she's
criminal.
trained for these things, but okay, go off.
He thinks he's more trained for these things, and he's gonna get revenge on his brother himself. Duh.
Sure, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So as we pointed out, Michael says that it doesn't look like he's under arrest.
Duh.
Val ends up getting out of his grip and bashes her head back at him, which works to free herself a little bit until Michael manages to grab her hair and drags her towards the church. But then she hears Gemma scream, and she sees Gemma being lifted by another man as Gemma's trying to fight free. And Gemma's freaking out and hysterically crying, but Val locks eyes with Gemma to try to calm her down and try to force her to like take what she's saying through her eyes because she needs to magically know. And do you understand the connection? Do you understand that I'm telling you to use your tools and we're gonna do it together? I don't see how this girl did, but whatever. So Val screams now, and they both wrench themselves free. Gemma does great as she practiced, and Val tells her to run. And Gemma does until she sees the gun in the grass on her way, and she stops and picks it up and turns it on Michael. Val's thinking that this is not going to end well for her if she shoots that gun because she's probably going to hit Val. But then another shot comes from the opposite direction, and Johnny is there, saying that that's his warning shot. And then another
Johnny. Sorry.
and then another warning shot comes out, and it's Al. And then a bunch of cars surround them, and Scotty and the other agents from the ranch are there. And Val's confused as the men are taken into custody, because remember, that's like her main emotion here in this book.
Yeah.
And asks, like, did they get her text message? Like, did it go through? Because she didn't think it went through. But apparently, Al put out the call to everyone after they left the bar because he just had a feeling that they'd be in some kind of trouble. And so they were all out looking for them until her initial text did make it through. Evan had gotten to the ranch just in time to head into the office where Parker is with Ma. And Ma just basically says not to kill each other and leaves the room, leaving Parker and Evan there together.
Just saying don't kill each other is not.
And you have this criminal that's, you are running this ranch.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that you have this man here who is literally testifying against somebody to be safe. And then that guy shows up and you're like, yeah, let them be together. As an agent, I'm assuming that Parker went and talked to her first, but still, you're going to take his word for it?
There's not a lot of smart people in this book.
I just don't
Yes,
understand a lot of it.
Don't
Like, she's supposed to be this
bitch.
agent.
I don't understand. Yeah, no.
I don't know. Whatever.
No, I get it. It's also fucking
Parker-
frustrating. Like,
Yeah. He says to Evan that he didn't see him as a rat, and then Evan punches him, saying that he may be a rat, but he never thought Evan would kidnap his own sister. Parker says that that wasn't his call, that Gemma overheard some trafficking stuff, and it made Michael jumpy, that he was just going to talk to Gemma. He just took her to talk to her. But Michael
that's what they all
didn't
say.
think a conversation was going to be enough, and then snatched her from Parker before Parker could do anything about it. And he spent all that time looking for Gemma, too. I call bullshit. And I'm just saying, if either one of the brothers had talked to each other,
This
if
would have all been fine.
if this was true, right? And apparently that is all that Evan needs to believe this.
Hell fucking no.
Don't care who you are. Not enough for me. So,
Not enough for me either.
but not my monkey
not
or my circus. So it's not long before commotion is going on at the ranch, and Evan realizes what has happened with Val and Gemma and Michael. And he rushes out to see them, but Ma stops them, saying that he needs to cool it. Val needs to debrief with her first. Gemma runs into Evan's arms and cries, and he takes care of her while Val finishes up. Val finds Evan back at the cabin, telling him that she's been removed from any further investigation regarding him and that she's too close and her involvement with him is a conflict of interest. So the final arrangements for her to leave have been made and she's just waiting for final debriefing. And regardless of what she thinks, she made the deal with Agent Walsh because she wanted to stay with Evan. And Evan realizes that a life with her means her giving up on her dreams, and he can't let that happen. So he's kind of mean and basically is like, well, they both knew this would be temporary. It ran its course.
I just like, has it ever worked for people?
Again, this can
I'm
be
just
dumbed down to
saying.
everyone is stupid. Could there not even be one smart person? Could we have
No.
one? Val's obviously frustrated and says that he's unbelievable with all this, but Evan continues saying that he and Gemma have started over and Val is a threat to everything they're trying to build. She tries to say it doesn't have to be this way, but he continues saying that she's a cop and he's a criminal. How did she think that was going to go? So Val leaves with tears in her eyes, saying goodbye. Gemma, pissed at the entire situation. Why has Parker not been arrested? Maybe Gemma is the only one with half a brain.
I was just gonna say, I think Gemma's the
Like,
only one with
why
any
is
thought in her
Parker
head.
now staying at the fucking ranch? And why the fuck did Evan let Val leave? She's fucking pissed. Evan is miserable himself, but like clearly that doesn't help the matter. Val makes it back to Chicago. She keeps watching her phone, thinking that Evan will call, but he doesn't. The only one who does call is Agent Walsh, saying that they are officially offering her position for Chicago ATF, that all she has to do is go to the academy and do the special training, and she'll be a special agent. Special, special, special. Val should feel happy, but she doesn't. She's trained her whole life for this, and it's just not feeling like she wants it anymore. But she goes through all the training. This is what she's trained for. Then she gets emails from an unknown sender. It's Evan, who says that people around the town helped him so that none of it was traceable. And Evan emails her almost every day, talking about how sorry he is, how she's everything he wants, how everyone in town hates him right now because he let her go. And he just pours all of this stuff out to her. How Parker is there, they're trying to work on their relationship, and he doesn't know if she's even getting these emails because Val does not answer him. She finishes the training at the academy and is getting ready to start her new
I
job.
wouldn't either. To the trash.
Yeah, right. And she should be happy, but she's miserable. Michael has been arrested. His partner, Bruno, his hired muscle that was there attacking Gemma at the scene, was also arrested. Apparently, when Parker found out that Evan was in Montana, Parker went to go see Evan, and Michael followed Parker. But Val still can't figure out how Parker knew Evan was in Montana. And she calls Eric, her old partner, and asks what he knows about Parker. And Eric's confused. How does she even know that name? That was Eric's informant. So you're just playing stupid? And this was not even really ever a resolution enough for me.
No.
So then a couple days later, Agent Walsh knocks on her office door and says that there's someone there to speak with her. It's Evan. Val wants to know what he's doing there. Evan says that he is meeting with the prosecutor who's charging Michael, and he needs to go over his testimony because he will not be testifying against Parker, which was his whole deal in the first place. So now they're trying to switch it for Michael. And apparently Parker was trying to protect him the whole time. Still feels fishy to me, just saying. I don't know. I think we would find out more if we were to read Parker's book,
Yeah.
but
We're not.
nope.
Sorry.
Crystal just decided. She's right, but she just decided.
I don't care.
Val asks if he got her email because after she talked to Eric, she was all in her head and emailed Evan basically just 2 words asking no bullshit with a question mark.
Yeah,
Like, that was
like-
the entire email. And so now 2 days later, Evan is there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go off,
Yeah.
I guess.
But Evan says yes, that it was nice to see that she actually received his emails. Yeah, because she wasn't replying before. And when she wasn't replying, he thought he'd blown his shot, but
How
then he
about
got her email,
get
so now he's in
fucked?
Chicago. Yeah. So apparently that was all that was needed to be said because then Val tells him that she feels like she can't breathe without him, and he tells her to come home.
Nope.
She says she can't. She has a new job and a life, but he says he'll move to Chicago. She says he can't do that. It's not safe for him there. That fine, she's coming with him. And that's that.
Which,
Mm-hmm. 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 Uh-huh. Yeah. She tries to tell Agent Walsh that she's resigning, and he tells her no, that he does not accept. So it could have been sane for a second, except that then Agent Brown, comes in the room and says that she escorted Evan to Chicago and that they've all missed her. She can and that she has a plan to fix things. That Val's too good of an agent for them to just leave. So she could switch
says
to being a
who?
marshal and marshal service so she can come work at the ranch. Like we didn't all see this happening from the beginning. Walsh is not happy about her being stolen, but agrees, and they say goodbye to Val so that she can get her stuff situated and come home. Evan then tells her that he has something for her to keep her company until she's back in
my
Montana.
dick. Sorry, just kidding.
And he gives her a necklace with a geode on it. He says he went back to the market and got one for her because he knew it was perfect for her. And he tells her that he loves her. And she tells him she loves him too.
It's giving. I went down to the ocean and got it for you. No. No. A geode necklace doesn't fix the problem. Whatever.
So in art class, I ended up having to take over for art class one day. It was a whole thing. Anyways, if you guys have seen, there's a reason why I don't teach art, but I was there. And they were doing this activity where they all started with their own drawing and then they passed it to the next person around the table and they had a minute to do it. And I got one that had the Titanic on it. So I drew the raft with Rose on it and
That's so
Jack
funny.
just floating in the water.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Love that. No notes.
Solid. Anywho's 2 weeks later, Val returns to the ranch, and Evan immediately grabs her, scoops her up, throws her over his shoulder like a caveman, and brings her back to his cabin to culminate their return to one another, or consummate their return to one another. That's the word I want. And after they're done, he asks her to marry him. To marry him.
No.
After this all just, she says yes. She
No.
says yes.
Well, she's stupid.
She says yes. God fucking damn it. Yeah. Then we get an epilogue, which is 6 months later. Apparently they got married about a month after. Val got back in a quiet ceremony on the ranch on the ranch. And with everything kind of ending, Evan was offered a full-time job managing at the ranch. And Val is loving her new job. Evan shows Val a house in town and says that it's theirs. They need more space, especially if they want kids. And then we get an extra epilogue, which is 10 years later.
Oh, I didn't read that one.
It was in the book, so I read it.
I know, but I was
Yeah.
like, no,
That's okay.
I'm done.
It's 10 years later. They have 3 kids. It's probably good because Parker and his wife are very involved in their lives. They also have kids and they're all together. And it seems like Parker's book is next.
Sounds great.
I
Terrible.
didn't verify.
Who
But
was your
that's the
favorite
book.
character?
I also want
Sorry.
to note. Nope, that's okay. I can talk about it after. Go
Nope. Go. No. Please go ahead. You
I
would like
also
to know
want to
what?
note before we even get to it that the sex scenes in this book were shit and cringy.
Yeah.
And like there was a point where I thought it was almost going to get somewhere where she was going to ride his face and then she was like, "But I don't want to kill you."
I do.
Like over and over again.
Smother that man.
Over and over again. Yeah. I wish she just
Smother
had
them.
smothered him with her vagina. Anyways, I think that the whole purpose of like the town is that people, when they leave the ranch after they testify and they can like go into society, they end up being townspeople in that town. And that's how this whole town is incorporated. And
Yeah.
that's why they're all like this. But we got nothing on that.
Yeah. No. we didn't.
We got no. I
There's no
wanted more.
development on
No,
it.
no.
Like, it's one of those where, and it's like the first book in the series, so you would think they would give
You
that kind of
needed that
a,
world
like,
building.
that
Yeah,
world building in it, but
yeah.
no. So,
Not for
so
us.
who's your favorite character? Dude, I'm gonna have to pick the
So
19-year-old for
I,
like
I
some
know.
reason.
Well, it's either Gemma or Al
Mm,
because Al seemed like he had a brain too. Or
yeah.
Johnny was cool too,
Here's John. Sorry.
but like I didn't understand why he was there other than to I don't know
No, how about your least favorite?
everyone else. No.
Ma.
Uh, yes. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Because the fuck?
The fuck. Ma.
The fuck.
Agent Brown. Female Agent Brown because we don't know anything about male Agent Brown.
Nope. Ma.
Ma.
Cool. So, Amazon gives us a 4.2, Goodreads a 3.9, and Storygraph a 3.73.
What did you rate it?
2.5.
So here's my problem because I rated it 3 stars, but now I'm feeling like that was a very generous rating
I
going through
originally also
this.
gave it a 3 stars, and I dropped it down to 2.5.
So like it wasn't a bad
No, it's just
concept.
the problem is
It
there
just
wasn't there stuff was not fleshed out. There were plot
no.
lines just kind of dropped, stuff that wasn't
And the
like explained,
timing.
and yeah, the
God, the
timing was really bad.
timing.
So, yeah, no.
Fucking
2.5.
A.
I don't
Um,
even want to pepper it.
well, there was stuff. It just was cringy.
Poblano. Does that work? Green pepper?
I'm gonna say a poblano and a half.
Sounds good. Poblano and a
But
half.
it was a cringy poblano and a half.
Yeah. It was like that tangy, it's been left in the fridge a couple of extra days kind of poblano.
I would
Was not a one-handed read for me.
I was I would survive and
Yeah, I would also survive because I wouldn't be in this fucking situation in the first place.
no. And it was not a one-handed read one.
No. Wow, we have a lot of non one-handed
I
reads.
know, we need more.
Yeah, I will say that sticker wise, I'm trying to figure out what stickers I'm gonna make. I think I'm gonna take the screenshot of you with the stuff in your mouth looking like a walrus, and I think I'm gonna make that into a sticker
Why?
because it's funny.
Oh, okay. I just thought you'd just do like little circles with like
What picture am I gonna pick?
you should do the ones that Grace made of us of our little
I could do that, but also you with a walrus face is really funny. I will also take one so that we have matching walrus faces, okay? Anyways,
I
so
would survive
yeah, I would also
survive
survive. Yeah.
or just off myself.
Or just all
So
right,
maybe I wouldn't.
so is it time to
It is
figure out
time.
what we're gonna oh no,
It is time.
don't spin. So we're gonna figure out what we're gonna read for next time. Are we going to give Ariel another chance or are we gonna go back to me? It's actually like a high possibility that it's gonna be me again.
I don't know, you had a lot in a row. So
I did,
I
but
think you technically have less
sometimes
on the wheel. So
the
chances.
wheel is
The wheel does what it
a
wants. Yes. But if
a
we talk
fickle
about like
bitch.
actual like percentage of
That is
chance,
true.
I think mine is higher. Though I
Yours
wouldn't be
is,
mad.
but we'll see. So let's spin this. We have 11 books left on this. Let's go.
Spin it
Let's
real
what are
good.
where are we landing for next week? That's you.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Wait.
He got so excited for a second.
Ah,
It's not me.
nope, it's me. It's me. It's me. That's right.
I did not do the mail order
Nope.
bread.
I remember exactly what this one is. So it is The Midwinter Mail Order Bride by Katie Wilde, and this is the romantasy category, as much as Ariel does not want to believe me.
I don't know how much world building we can get in 180 pages because the
Well,
category was for the
I
world building
understand,
part.
but from everything that I had researched, they said it had
Well,
really
give it a
good.
try. Yeah,
Yeah. Hold on, I'm trying to pull this up really quick.
we should
Get
give
the
it a
fuck
try.
up. Oh my God. Excuse me. All right, so the midwinter mail order bride. Some might call Princess Anya of Ivermere. Oh, fuck me. Ivermere brave for offering herself up as a bride to Kale the Conqueror, a barbarian warlord who'd won his crown by the bloodied edge of his sword. Sword? Nope. Sword. It was not courage that drove Anya from her magic wielding family's enchanted palace, however, but a desperate attempt to secure a kingdom of her own, even if she has to kill the conqueror to do it. She expects pain beneath his brutal touch as she awaits her chance. She expects death if he discovers the truth of her intentions. She didn't expect Kale to reject her and send her back to Ivermere. Raised in the ashes of the Deadlands, Kale fears nothing, certainly not the beautiful sorceress who arrives at his mountain stronghold. But no matter how painful his need for her, Kale has no use for a bride who would only tolerate his kiss. Yet, the more Anya's secrets he uncovers, their journey to return her home, the more determined he becomes to win the princess's wary heart. And Kale the Conqueror has never been defeated. So, we're going to do some romantasy. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll continue to be disappointed. Who the fuck knows?
We gotta have a win.
One day.
Send
Not
us your
today.
recommendations. But join us next week and make sure to keep reading.
And keep it smutty.
What do you need sauce for?
My french fries.
I didn't know what you were eating.
You didn't see me putting french fries in my mouth this whole time.
No. I was too busy putting shit in my mouth. I just had a flashback of that, whatever book we read, that the guy stuck it in her mouth like a pacifier, so she would just like sit there and lather on it.
Yeah.
What was that? Ghost of Halloween?
Dude, that's been so long since we've read that.
She had been in the running to switch to be an ATF officer. Officer?
Officer?
And stir it real good. Evan is a he's a formal criminal. He just dresses up.
It also sounds like you were going to say formal crypt keeper. I was going to be like, oh, okay, so crypt keeper now, huh?
And he lets Evan know that the word is that Parka. Yeah, Parka.
Parka? Parker? Every time I see a lumberjack competition video or something on TikTok, I either send it to you or I just think of you instantly.
Write that down. Maybe we should have lumberjack books for like May specials or something.
Okay.
If we can find anything good. I feel like that might be a...
Oh no, we did Mountain Men. That's what it was. I was like, I feel like we did lumberjack. No, we didn't.
And we did do a book that had lumberjacks in it, but it was because of the whole mount. Yeah. And I think the next one is coming out soon. We'll see. Anyway, off topic. Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck.